started, I think I told you if Michael would be here in 3 minutes after time, and then we can get going, and here we are. So club defense, excited to do this. These are going to be techniques that, like, you know, McMillian and I, we work together once a week, and it's stuff that we work on the side, you know, and he's got experience with, I've got experience with one way or another, but they're not techniques and situations we work in the main classes through the week a lot, right? We don't have a class specifically for weapons defense. But we're going to be doing more stuff like this for members, where we're going to be doing knife defense, gun defense, stuff like that, right? When we get into some of the gun stuff, McMillian's going to be having a lot to do with that expertise there, and building a range and a place that we can have some of that training. Okay, so, but we'll get going. I'm going to just get us going, like move our joints around. We're going to do a couple of throws, no hard throws today, but we are going to do some break falls just to get ready for that. And then some basic striking, and then getting into defending against the most common strike, and going into those throws. So we just everybody stand up. Stretch. Sideways. Push out. Small circles. Backwards. Go down. Look up and down. Side to side. Shoulder. Circles. Both directions. Circle your hips. Just a couple more, we'll be done. Switch directions. So forward, backwards. Engage those hamstrings when you go backwards, extending your hips away. Last one. Okay, I'm going to turn over to McMillian here. He teaches all the morning classes, Monday through Friday. So come train with him anytime. Several of you have already, but some new people might not train with him yet. So I'm going to turn over to him, 4th degree black belt in judo. So the guy to be showing us how to slap the mat.
How to break ball. Yay. We're going to do some falls today, so just kind of, we're going to go through a quick break fall, real quick, just kind of go over it. So we're going to start down here on the bottom, sitting down. All right, all you're going to do is have your hands across your chest. One of the number one injuries you run into when you get thrown or whatever is people start trying to reach back and catch themselves. So we start with our hands across our chest as we do this to avoid that. So later when you're getting kind of thrown around lightly, try to avoid trying to catch yourself on the mat. We don't want any broken wrists or elbows, right? So from here we're going to roll back, exhale as we roll back, keep your chin tucked, and we're going to slap the mat, not karate chop the mat, not try to beat the mat like it owes us money. Nice and loose, boom, right? So it's going to look something like this, hopefully, right? Legs relaxed, so one, go back. All right, good. Ready? And one, roll back, and we're just going to go straight to standing. So when I stand, There's really two ways to do the break fall. One, feet together, squat all the way down. Or two, I can take a small step back. If it makes you feel a little more comfortable, take a small step back, right? But as I go to squat, I want to think about my backside hitting that mat. I'm not driving my tailbone into the mat, right? I'm just going to roll back, and just like we were sitting, rolling back, chin tuck, slapping the mat, exhaling, right? So from here, it should look like this. If I have both my feet together, squat down, here, and you're going to come up and you're going to sit up this way, right? And then we'll work on getting it from base at another class. The other way is, if you're nervous about just squatting all the way down, you can't do it physically, just take a small step back, take a small step back. It lets you squat down. It's a little bit easier for you. Good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ready, buy some room. Watch your neighbor. Don't hit the bag, pole, or concrete. 1. Exhale as you slap. Do one more. We're going to do a side fall from standing. So what's going to happen is, because when I get thrown, I don't always land on my back. You typically land on your side, so it looks a little different, right? So when I'm here, I'm going to point my foot toward the inside of the circle. On my other foot's just going to slide through like this, all right? I don't want to be like, whee, and then fall on my side. What's going to happen is, as I slide through, my pinky toe touches. I'm going to squat with this leg down. And I should feel the mat all the way up my side this way. And as I do that, here to here, I'm going to keep my hands across my chest like I did earlier. I'm only going to slap with one hand, right? So the hand that's closest to the mat. So I'm here, comes through, I squat down. Now when I land, I want to land here, try to hit the side of my foot like this, landing on the balls of my foot right here. Don't try to drive your heel into the mat. And for gentlemen, if you don't want to damage the furniture in your room, don't do this, okay? So this will be a better way for you to fall here. So put my feet together, come apart, there you go, all right? So just one more time, hands across your mat, you're gonna step, slide, land on your side. Good?
Yes, sir.
Ready? 1. Together base. 2. Doing this and I'm falling. I'm hitting one hand. My chin is still tucked. And I'm exhaling as I hit. Right? 3. Good. And try not to cross your legs even if you are a girl. Alright? 4. Good. And don't reach back. Do not reach back, touch the mat. Keep your hands across your chest. 5. 6. All right, one more to grow on. 7. All right, so real fast. Physics, when you throw somebody, if I throw Howie on the mat, boom, when he falls and he hits his side, the louder he slaps the mat, the better the throw and the harder the throw. So if you ever get to throwing people and you hear a real loud slap, like a boom, right? Because what happens is, as I go to slap, all that energy from me hitting the mat is being transferred from this large surface area out here through my shoulder, down my arm, and being transferred to the mat as I slap. So if you do a really good round of judo, good round of throws, and your hands are red when you're done, guess what? That was a good session, right? So things to think about when you're going to throw people. Also, as you go to fall in the class, if you're paired up with somebody that's like not as experienced as falling, just take it nice and slow, okay? But the rule of thumb is, if I actually throw you like I need to throw you, it's an easier fall than trying to be like, oh yeah, oh you're so, oh, I got hurt, right? That's how you get hurt. Boom, throw, all right, good. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, striking?
Yes, let's partner.
Okay. And just everybody without your partner first, we'll just find some space. We'll call this an angle 1. Okay? And it is a diagonal strike. Alright, we're thinking temple shot. Alright, right there. Okay? This is gonna come diagonal. That's the strike we're working for everything today. Okay? So we want everybody to be able to do that strike. And we'll partner up and we'll practice hitting the sticks in the center also. If you like that type of training too, we're gonna have a baton workshop like this in several more weeks. And you'll get a baton with the class, you come do it, and it'll be more about like being offensive. So, right, today we're gonna be unarmed against a club, a piece of rebar, whatever it is, just somebody swinging at a baseball bat, right? That's what this is simulating. So we'll start with our hands just here, right? When I teach the beginner jiu-jitsu class, we're always talking about being in base, and our hands are up like this, okay? That's our guard when we're from standing. So imagine your hands are like that, but you've got a club here. So we're just throwing that angle 1, right? So angle 1, and retract it. Bring it back, right? Bring it back. Okay, have a little extra bit of the stick here at the bottom, enough for if you could like put a second hand there. Okay, angle 1. Good, angle 1. Nice. Now look, if I throw an angle 1, and I come across here, I can throw an angle 2. That's the same angle from the other side. So think, we got a forehand and a backhand. Okay, angle 1, angle 2. That's our diagonal strikes. Angle 1, angle 2. Swing it across the body and back. It kind of makes a figure 8. Okay? So that's good. Now, let's do this as a partner. Okay? Please. So we're just going to do an angle 1 and an angle 2. Okay? Angle 1, angle 2. Notice what I'm doing with my wrist here. I do have a second hand involved, and that's for when you get into, we call it the checking hand. That's when you get into catching, blocking, wedging, doing something else with that second hand. Okay, something like this. Okay, so that can also drive the strike a little bit. Okay, so we'll go angle 1, angle 2, angle 1, angle 2. That's our downward figure 8s. Okay, so let's give the partner and just practice those angles. So when we get to swing in an angle at our partner for the defense portion, we're actually swinging a real angle 1 at them, right? That's the right. It doesn't take a lot of skill to throw that angle, but I want you to kind of be conceptualizing it. We want to make it as realistic as possible. All right, let's give the partner and go downward figure 8. Let's go.
You want to stop filming while I do this? Yeah.
I'm going to show the blocking and the disarming portion, okay? And Josh, he'll take over and start getting into the throws, okay? And that's going to be kind of the 2 big parts we have left. Now, here's the thing: you're talking self-defense. We're not, we're all in street clothes or workout clothes, right? So you don't always know the situation's coming. So we're going to practice stepping into base as we get ready to defend. Okay? So if he's coming for that angle 1, I'm coming in here, and I want to connect. That way, if he starts trying to pull back, I'm in a strong base. See, he was off balance because he tried to pull back. He didn't pull me to him. And that's where we'll start finding our techniques, right? If he hits me or pushes and pulls me or grabs me and I'm off balance, it's going to be hard to defend yourself, right? So with this, we're using kind of a monkey paw, right? And I'm stepping in here into the same foot forward as I'm blocking with, right? I want to add a little, like here, I don't really have any weight to it. You can just kind of push through. Like there, I'm leaning my weight forward into the balls of my feet. Here, I can hit. I can go here, here, for different techniques, okay? So what we want to do is connect to the person. We want to step in base, and we want to block right here, right? See how this is going to be a lever for when we start disarming here in a second, okay? So right now, just practice. You're in a neutral stance. You're stepping into base with that high block. You're leaning your weight forward into the balls of your feet subtly. You don't want to overlean, right? And then I want the partners to practice pulling the stick back a little bit. You stay hooked to them. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Let's work on that. 1, 2. Think about this. We'll measure just stay here. 2 hand distances away. He can probably still reach my head with his stick, but I can't just step forward and block. See? There's a range problem here. And one thing about training martial arts, learning how to strike, whether it punches or kicks, defend against those things, you develop an understanding of distance and how to manage it, okay? So what I want you to think about doing is you're gonna take a bigger step and you're gonna slide your back foot. Now we don't wanna, when we do this, I'll show it side here, right? I'm gonna take a big step and I don't wanna slide my foot too close together. The base you were stepping in that felt strong, everybody's looking pretty good here. That's what we've got to step and slide into. Okay, so we'll check our distance here, right? Go ahead, here, right? So I close that distance. I close the gap between us, right? So here, you check that distance, start from here. Because again, from here, he can still hit me with that, but I can't just block like we learned a second ago, okay? So here, I'm gonna step and slide, right? Coming in, controlling the shoulder. If I want to off balance him, that can also simulate a palm strike to the face, right? And then we'll get into some of that, what we can do with that secondary hand that we're not blocking with here in a minute, okay? So drill closing distance, stepping into base and blocking, and I'll add on one more thing and I'll turn it over to Josh. All right, once
Okay, no, but I got it, so.
head and center.
Not right now.
All right, blooper drill. All right. So let's go over the disarm. This is the last part I'm going to cover, and so just think about disarming the stick, taking it away. That's a skill. Not being able to take it away and having to throw them. That's another just part of this. Okay. So just go back to that regular distance, or you can close distance either one. He goes to hit. I step in, I block, I add a little weight here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach up to the stick, I'm gonna slide down, I'm gonna pull it out, and once I disarm here, I can strike, pulling through, stick to the ribs, doesn't feel good, right? Jab the end of the stick right into somebody's rib, does not feel good, right? Even training it, so be careful, okay? So here, I step into base, I've got a palm strike to the face I can simulate. Here, strike, pull through. Okay, so one more time. When I was training collie in sticks regularly, we always called this the quick release disarm, right? And it's just like the #1 disarm you see in a lot of systems, including like the self-defense techniques for jiu-jitsu. Okay, so he comes here, I add a little weight here, boom, boom. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. 1, 2. I said it to several of the groups, so when he strikes, I'm trying to capture this with my wrist as part of the leverage here. So I'm connected over his arm, I'm in my base. You see where my arm's at here? When I start twisting, I can put the stick all the way pointed down if I need to, right? Where I can come up here, right? Like that. But it turns into a twisting lock on his arm, like an Americana, if you're familiar with jiu-jitsu terminology, or a wrist lock, right? So that's a big part of this is, using that as a part of your leverage, okay? And I told some of the other groups, not really getting into it today, but you could strike with that, right? You can hook with it. If you come back for the baton class we'll do here in the future, we'll get into some of that stuff, right? So go ahead and turn it over to you, sir.
I just want to share something real fast. So if you train collie martial arts, stuff like that for a baton or a stick, you're not going to have a lot of what we call pre-fight indicators. But if you're not in here, it's a self-defense situation, and someone's like, "I'm going to whoop you," and they start getting aggressive, you're gonna have some pre-fight indicators that you can look at, which is going to help you respond quicker to that strike, to block it, and to go into some of these techniques, right? So just like any type of haymaker punch, or in kickboxing, you watch the shoulders, you're looking right here and you're watching this upper chest. If I'm gonna hit somebody with a stick and I'm not like a trained fighter or martial artist, but I've got a club and I'm gonna hit you with it, you'll see a lot of this, shoulder drop back, this kind of coming up here, and that's a pre-fight indicator. And so if we see stuff like that, I'll be like, "Oh, he's dropping his shoulder back. He's probably gonna hit me. I should probably do, oh, I just got hit." Right? So you gotta move a little quicker when you see that. And if you see them where they've got an aggressive posture, we call it posturing, right? Men do it really well all the time. Yeah, what's going on with you today? Yeah, right? And you start getting aggressive, stuff like that. If someone does that outside the gym, they do it outside at Walmart or something like that, we call that a pre-fight indicator. I don't necessarily have to wait for them to attack me, right? If I think I'm about to be the victim, and I don't want to be a victim. So if I'm there and the guy's getting aggressive and he has a club, or he's got reaches in his truck, gets a piece of rebarb, or he's got a tire thumper, and the minute I see him start dropping back like this to hit me, right? And the reason we're working this strike today like this is the most common strike you'll see with people just out in the general public for self-defense, right? If you come across like a skilled collie guy or a guy that knows what he's doing, it's a bad day. So the most common strike we see is they're gonna try to hit you in the face. Bam, right? Just because they're a low skill person, and that's what they're gonna resort to, is this headshot, boom, across that face. And so it's a common type of strike, which is why we're using it today. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're just gonna add a little bit to this. So everything y'all did a minute ago where you block and you catch, we're just gonna add some stuff to it. So if he goes and hit, boom, when I step up, maybe I can't reach up and disarm here, but he's pushing, right? I've got a couple things I can do with this forward force coming forward here, right? I can pull this because we're attached, and I'm gonna step in and catch, right? What does this look like for a lot of people in this room? You remember the Chris Burns seminar, right? A lot of the Hicks and Gracie stuff. So when I'm here and I step in this way, right, and I've got this relationship, I've got a good base, I'm a strong base. As I step to the side here, I'm shifting his weight over this leg as I just step through. Right, very simple Osoto, right? Osoto Otoshi. Good? Can I borrow you, Micah? You do? I want to give you a fair advantage, right? Feel better throwing Micah. So here Micah goes to strike, boom, I'm stepping in to catch. He's got here, I got my where I need it. I'm just gonna step up, grab, pull this to my chest, control this. From this position, he's not able to hit me with a stick or do much damage. Chin is tucked, so if he is catching me in the back of the head with some rabbit punches, I'm gonna be okay, right? But as soon as I catch this right here, I'm gonna go ahead and slide out here to get this weight over this foot as I step through for a nice throw, right? Then you're gonna follow up with your other techniques to do some damage, right? So a little bit of a faster speed, if you will. You okay with that? Right? Right? Now I'm set up to do some damage. You can see I'm on my feet. This is a preferred position for me, especially in a self-defense situation. I can pull a knife out and go to work, right? I can take a stick, make him pay, break his arm, do some really cool stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be on the ground with him in a jiu-jitsu tournament on the street in the parking lot at Walmart. Make sense?
Sure.
Hey, thanks for taking it. So you're stepping up here. I've got this thing. Good base, good pressure. Catching here. A little side step to get his weight. Stepping behind. Now I'm not reaping. I'm just putting my heel down. Oh. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, anybody? Good, Brian? All right. 3, 2, 1. Here you go. Right. Size differences, right? Can I borrow your mirror? Yeah. So y'all show what just happened. I just want you to go to the part where you try to grab and just kind of stop. It's a good point. She's blocking. Look at that size difference, right? That's a lot. Does that make sense? And there's some things we can do to kind of negate this to give us a better advantage, okay? Where it's gonna be to our advantage. One, she can run away because she might be faster than a big boy, okay? In a real self-defense situation. But the other thing you can do is if he goes to really nice and easy, he's gonna throw, I'm gonna block, and when I lock this in this way, right, we're doing this thing, we're kind of just stepping and bowing like this, we're just kind of stepping through here. Well, he's big. He might be bigger than me, which is true, and he's a lot of business. So I can move to the side, right, to make sure I get the weight on this leg. So I'm here, I've anchored down, right, I've got my base. I'm attaching my body to his arm because I don't want him to have it back. I want to have it, it's mine. I know he was born with it, but I want to keep it. So from here, if I just step to the side a little bit, right? And see how he's all balanced here, right? And now I just do as I'm to the side, I just keep bowing, right? It doesn't look as sexy as that step behind throw, but it's still gonna work a little bit, right? That's where you're sticking. Here it is, Miracle. So I'm here, I'm gonna strike. She blocks, she's gonna step up and grab. Now, what she's gonna do, she's not gonna move back. You're gonna move over there toward the mirror, right toward Edward. Yeah. Yes, good. Nice. Right? Come here, Joel. Where you going?
Oh, sorry.
I don't think it's So go. Stop, grab. Now walk toward me.
Oh, towards you?
Yeah, this way, to the side. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Good.
Stop the space. Yeah. Break it.
Especially if he's anchored going to that side, hitting that
No,
side.
arm fit.
While I hit that side, still doing the anchoring to his arm. Does that make sense? But an honest conversation is this. Techniques don't work 100% of the time. So if you have a self-defense technique that works in 50 to 60% of situations, guess what? It's a really good technique. You might snatch them up and be like, oh, this is awesome. Crap. Like, it didn't work. That's, yeah, it might be too much of a size difference or things that come into play, and we get it to work in here really good because he's being nice and we can move. But if he's being real aggressive, you might have to choose another avenue in order to use self-defense techniques. Does that make sense? So that's an honest conversation. I don't want you to leave this seminar and be like, oh, I went to club defense, he's got a baseball bat, it's on, right? And be like, I got hit in the head with a bat and I'm in the hospital. It's like, yeah, yes. Remember at the seminar, I said sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Good? You gotta have a plan B. All right? So with your partner, if they're big, I can borrow you, Joel. He's gonna strike. Boom, when he strikes, same technique, but instead of being here where I'm just bowing like this, I'm gonna walk him to the side here to get that weight over there, right? As I do my technique. And it might not be me stepping behind him, it may be stepping and bowing over here with my center as I anchor to the arm. Does that make sense? All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Just kind of for the record, we're seeing a lot of this. Like Micah goes to throw, I step up, I grab, and I catch here. And then we see people trying to turn like this, right? You're kind of giving them your back, but it's not really making this work too good, right? And the person's like, I'm just gonna fall because he's turning, right? And you're like, oh, okay. We're doing a Soto instead of a hip toss. I'll show the hip toss next. But we're here, I'm stepping in and catching. When I catch here and I go to step through, I'm moving through as I step, right? And I'm doing my otoshi motion, which is this, which calls his body just bent over, right? As I went to calf, driving my heel toward the mat. The only thing holding him up right now is me and his abs of steel, right? If he goes to hit and I catch here and I step up here and then I try to do this, right? It looks good, but let's do that a little bit better. Okay? Show you a better way to do that. Remember this thing where I catch and I'm kind of hanging on here, right? As I'm hanging on, if he's gonna pull back to get away, boom, I'm falling through. Now my Soto becomes super dynamic. Does that make sense? Because he's pulling me in here, and I gotta step through the throw, it's gonna be a really big throw. Make sense? You like taking the throw? Yeah. Right? Boom, he pulls back. Hey, buddy. I'm sorry. Bonus points for me. But if I get here and I'm doing this and he's starting to, right, stay where you're at. Sorry. Instead of pulling back, he's starting to push. Boom. Now we get into this strength competition here, right? Biggest wins. Not where I want to be. So instead, he starts to push. I'm catching the same, and I'm just going to turn. Boom. Now I'm in my hip toss variation. This is where I want to hip toss him because he's going forward. I'm turning out here, right? Micah can take a hip toss. I know because I've thrown him a lot in morning class. He can take a hip toss, but with your partners, be kind of careful with this. right? So as he goes to push, good. Thank you, sir. All right. I'm blocking and he's pushing. So maybe he's bigger than me, he's stronger than me, and I'm doing this variation of pawn. Catching here, boom. Right? As he goes to push. Does that make sense? Your footwork, hold still. Catch, he's pushing. Boom. Your pawn, right? I'm not bringing him over my shoulder, bringing my shoulder through and catching his bicep. Make sense? With your partner on this, if I get here and I go to the catch, I'm trying to be a little bit nicer to my partner, right? I'm gonna turn, he's gonna sit out. Thank you, sir. So like for people that have been falling a lot, that's a good variation. Can I get the motion down? It's not as sexy, I get it, but at the same time, you're learning that motion. Does that make sense? All right, we're doing, I get here like an over-under here, and he starts pushing into me. Boom, I can turn out, right? Woo. If he starts to pull like, he wants to drag me backwards, that's fine. I can start going backwards with him. Same idea, the only difference is instead of being connected like that with our base, he's throwing, I'm stopping, I'm connected here, right? So if he pulls back, I'm moving in here for my dynamic Osoto. He goes to throw, boom, he's pushing forward. Now I'm in my position for my forward throws, right? The other thing you can do with this is kind of fun is we're doing a one-handed block right now as he steps, boom, here. You can also step up with like a two-handed block. If I'm gonna step up here like this to kind of cover my face and block and get this relationship like I do, this hand can hit, right? Dream was talking about in Taekwondo, there's a deal where you kind of go, oh, and I can't do it right, so you'll see this video later and be like, oh, that's not what I said. But you're doing like this, where both hands are coming out. This is the same technique. I'm blocking here, and when I come here, this hand's going straight down this arm, right to the side of this neck, right? And there's what we call a brachial stun. So there's a vein that runs right here, underneath here, like when you choke people out. I'm hitting that pretty hard to cause a little bit of a cuckoo, right? So he gets stunned, gives me that second or 2 seconds. Now I can kind of do what I need to. You can also, he goes to hit, boom. He goes to pull back. As he pulls back, boom, I'm stepping up here or here for a strike for all you kickboxers and strikers in the room. But I don't want to get too involved with this. It's just like a little boom. Oh, he's going back. Now I can step up. I've got a good throw. He's just giving me something else to think about, right? All right, we're not going to do this where he goes to throw. Right? And oh, there's a throw, right? So 1 or 2 good strikes, quick, and you're using them as part of the deal to give something to think about, which lets you use your technique a little bit better. Does that make sense?
Sir.
All right. So the next version is to put your hand out. Right? What if I'm here and he goes to hit and I move back, right? So he goes across. Now I'm going to step up and close this distance, right? Maybe I can't. So think like a two-handed baseball bat grip. He's got a baseball bat. He goes to swing. Boom, I'm moving back. Boom, I'm moving in to catch, right? I'm coming in to catch to block here. Good, right? And as he goes to swing back, he's going to push into me. Fair? Yeah, with your, try to hit me again, right? Which I can start using that kind of against him. So not only can we, so one-handed block. Not only can I block here to catch, right? He's going to swing two-handed. He misses. Boom! I'm stepping up to grab here to stop. All right. So when I step to grab here to stop, I'm getting close. I'm controlling this. All right. So with your partner, we're going to do just a two-handed swing. Can I borrow it real quick, Micah? Anybody here not play baseball or ever hit swing a bat at somebody?
I don't think I've ever hit a baseball in my life. I think I've swung.
Yeah, so you're here, you're gonna hit, he's gonna step back. Boom, when I come back, go ahead and be moving in as soon as you can. Boom, and step, yeah. Get your base, block. Now if I start pushing into him, I shouldn't be able to do this. Right, so come here, block, get a good base, right? Good, nice, yeah, good base, good base, weak base, good base, good base, good. So strong. I like my face. All right. Yeah, so take your hips, Boom. Good sword. Right, so miss, step up. Right, good, nice, better, yes. Right, so try to find that base when you step up first. Then we'll add to it. Good?
Sir.
3, 2, 1. You lose your partner? Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That happens right here. All right. So the question we kind of have is, okay, so that's great. I've stepped in. This guy went into the baseball bat. Boom. Now I've taken away his ability to come back through. And now we're kind of jammed up, just jamming him up, stopping him, right? Because if I get here to hit you with a baseball bat, my power is going to come when I get extended out here. So the further I get away to do this strike, the more it's going to hurt, right? So when I come here and I go around, and as I come back and you stop me, you're stopping me from being able to generate a lot of power. So that's going to give me a little bit of an advantage when I go to try to stop this strike. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
That's what we're trying to do. So reality is, if the person's like 350 professional baseball player, they're probably going to suck. Fair? But average Joe on the street isn't practicing to swing a bat, you know, a couple hundred miles an hour, you'll probably be better chance, right? Good? All right. Can I borrow you, Joel? Come on, sir.
Is that in my shape?
Yeah, that'd be great. If we attack you, then you can do the stuff, right? So I got distance here. He's going to swing. I'm a slow reactor. So he goes to swing. I step back, and before he comes back around, I'm moving in to block this, right? A lot of power, a lot of strength here, right? He's pushing into me, okay? Get into this 3 thing, not where I want to be, okay? So I'm here. As I do this, I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna grab his wrist, fair, and I'm just gonna let him come through this way. Let's stand back up. So here he's going to swing. I'm going to come this way. Good. As I release that a little bit, I want him to unwind him down to the ground. Make sense? No?
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of other stuff you can do. Sorry, sir. We'll go nice and easy. He swings. Boom. I step into block. Here. You come this way. There's a bunch of, as he goes to pull back because he's athletic, there's a bunch of wrist techniques I can do here to make this happen, which is good, right?
Yep.
But he swings double-handed, right? I step up to block. I'm releasing here, right? As I come back around, I can catch. Now I'm back into my Soto setup. Does that make sense?
Sir.
There's a lot of options, but what I'd like you to do is work on jamming that as they release. Get his hold his hands and just keep turning as he comes out, because once you do that, his momentum starts going. Turn a small circle, and then we'll get them on the ground. Fair? Good?
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1. We got 10 minutes left on the clock. Let's review what we went over. So when you're out here with your partner, turn Miracle. Yeah. So what's one of the first things we did? So
It was this one?
Yes, swing
Oh,
your
the
stick.
first.
Oh.
Yeah, you can swing your stick right here. Let me just give me a stick. All right, first one went. I'm gonna hit. You're gonna block. Right. We do the blocking. Do the disarm. Reach underneath. Grab. Go get some reps. Boom, boom. Okay. Next one. I'm gonna swing. Block. Yes. Step through Soto. Yep. Good. Right. The next one. Same thing. I'm gonna here. Gonna block. Right. Boom. Hip toss. So turn. Yes. Yeah, here. Boom. Jam, yeah. Now as I push into you, just drag me straight toward the core, right? Just run backwards. Yeah. Nice. All right. Remember all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody else remember all that?
Yes, sir.
Partner up review.
Yes, sir.
Wait, double or single? I think it's this one.
Okay, the hit.
All right, time. Everybody come back to the middle real quick. All right, so don't like to what if a lot of this stuff, but if you have like a specific question, we'll open the floor to address one if you have a specific question about any of this stuff. If not, we'll do some closing thoughts and we'll do something, we'll push on. Yes.
On that double swing, whenever we wait for that second one to come in,
Yeah.
what are some different grips I can do?
Yeah, so Sam's gonna swing. Oh, thanks, man. So when I come in and I step up, right, I can catch this top arm here and push, right? But I'm kind of jamming them up, if I get close here, and I want to tuck my chin when I come up, boom. This way, if something does happen, if I enter this situation this way with my head up, and Sam does this, I get headbutted, right? So I'm here, boom, enter the situation. I can pick this, just pick this top hand, I'll try to lift your hand, Sam. Good, I got good control here, all right? You can come up here, I can isolate a hand, boom, step up this way, isolate his hand here, right? Got both his hands, both his wrists. There's some disarm stuff you can do here that works good with the collie sticks, too. But I'm just thinking about keeping from coming back around. Here, Micah. Good stick. Thanks, sir. Right? So he's gonna double, right? So he's here. Now he's doing his back swing, and I'm stepping in here to jam this up. I'm stepping in both hands here to catch. Boom. I've got a good grip on this top arm, right? I can pull. Then all he does, his hand rotates down to catch this thumb as we come back up. That feels good, doesn't it? Mr. Green special. So good here, right? You can take this hand here if you like. Come on, stand up, stand up, get up, get up. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. Green does that to me all the
Do it
time.
again. Please.
Yeah. So I'm just jamming that up to stop that with my hands in front, and my hands end up on that top arm a lot of times, or that bottom. And I'm gonna acquire a grip on the top hand as he does, and either if he pushes into me, I'm gonna step back. So double-handed grip, one-handed grip, right? You can also put some strikes if you want to in the position. A lot of options from there. Does that answer your question? Okay. All right.
You guys really doing classes on Sunday? Or you said Sunday? After real?
Those are
That's
secret
real.
classes, you're
Yeah.
not invited.
So kind of just some closing thoughts for me on self-defense stuff. This is fun. I love this stuff. It's really good. Been doing it for a long time. What I'd offer is on self-defense, it's different in here than it is out there. Okay? If you really want to know what it's like to be in a real physical fight where someone's actually trying to kill you or hurt you seriously bad, okay? It's not a fun experience. And for you to survive that situation, you've got to be what we call a student of violence. You've got to study it, get involved with it, know what's going on, so that when that person attacks you, it's super stressful. And it causes people to shut down, go into the fetal position, not respond at all, then they get seriously injured. But if you want to be a good student of violence and be able to survive those encounters, you've got to look at them, you've got to watch them, you've got to study them, and then you've got to prepare yourself mentally to overcome that initial attack and be able to respond with your own violence immediately after. All right? And I know that's kind of like it's a really broad statement, but at the end of the day, in my line of work, I've been attacked on the street several times. Been super lucky. Person went to jail, I didn't get injured. But I know through training, like in jiu-jitsu here, and doing kickboxing, all the MMA stuff, right? It's super beneficial, and that'll actually prepare you for that real world encounter. And so what you learn on the mat, you might think, oh, I'm horrible, this isn't very good, but stay the course, because getting put in those uncomfortable situations is what actually prepares you for that physical encounter out there, okay? Just know it's taking up a knife, a gun, all kinds of stuff, which right now you just a baton or a club defense, and I'm sure we'll offer some more in the future. Those are Brian.
All right, guys. Okay, so, great points there, McMillian, and like why I asked him to get involved with this, because it's for a counterpart outside of the gym that does what we do inside of here, but also does have experience working the streets in law enforcement, and then also
Not in other ways.
That's pre-law enforcement, it doesn't count.
You have to make some money,
that was back
right?
when that was back when he was trying to be an Olympic fencer. Okay, but if you guys, I kind of promoted a little bit, but he's got an incredible background in martial arts too. You know, he's about to be a jiu-jitsu black belt, judo 4th degree, aikido. So he's got an incredible wealth of knowledge. He was just teaching hand-to-hand stuff in South Dakota or something crazy, right? The Badlands. So, and you know, he's sought after outside of here for self-defense, for law enforcement agencies, for schools, for people who just want personal protection. So he does concealed courses, enhanced carry, and is getting to that range set up here just off 40. So hopefully we can be having some classes there, like with the gun defense, and we'll keep offering some workshops here. We offer the beginner jiu-jitsu class, and excited about that. And this is just kind of something else that we can be doing that harmonizes with everything else. So thank you for coming out. It's always a pleasure to share the message, sir.
Thank you very much.
Let's do a real quick picture, and then we'll be done.